Coming up on Confidential, the loose cannon that is and always was John Cena.
There's a lot of nights where you'll find me wearing this and only this. Let's ruin the integrity of this room.
And SummerSlam through the eyes of the Lesnar family.
My parents are my #1 fans. I wanted them to be a part of this.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Gene Okerlund, and this is WWE Confidential. The next big thing has arrived. No, I'm not talking about American Idol's Kelly Clarkson. I'm talking about Brock Lesnar, who became the youngest champion in WWE history with his victory over The Rock at SummerSlam. Tonight, we have an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at Brock's championship night as seen through the eyes of his mom and dad. You will not want to miss that one. But first up tonight, a horse of a completely different color. John Cena burst out of the scene a couple of months ago when he took on Mr. McMahon's mantra of ruthless aggression and ran with it. In his first 2 weeks, he nearly defeated both Kurt Angle and Chris Jericho. Since then, this young up-and-coming WWE superstar has remained somewhat of an enigma. We don't know much about John Cena, but he always seems to be in the middle of something and liking it. Coincidence? Apparently not. Being the center of attention has always been a daily routine for this young man from West Newbury, Mass. In the ring, he's all business, but outside the ropes, he's a self-proclaimed jackass who will do anything for a laugh, even at his own expense.
I'll be the idiot at the party who runs across the field naked or just, walks out in a jockstrap or dresses up in a costume or something like that. Whatever they ain't.
There's nothing he won't do. He can be goofy and a jackass at times. He's done some crazy stuff.
I'm definitely still a loose cannon. I'm definitely an idiot. I'm a jackass. There's a lot of nights where you'll find me wearing this and only this.
He's got a beautiful body. What can I say? He was beautiful. Very cute, very pretty, blonde hair.
He's one of 5 sons. He's the second in progression. He was the butterball baby.
He was so cute.
He always laughed. He liked to have fun. I remember when he was real small, you'd ask him what he wanted to be when he grew up. I want to be a walk star. I want to be a walk star.
West Newbury, Massachusetts is my hometown. We were born and raised here. Myself and 4 of the brothers and my dad and mom. It's a small town, but there's enough people around to have a bunch of friends and do a bunch of athletics.
He was very social as a little one.
I was probably a ham, because every picture that we're in, all my brothers are smiling and I'm doing like a face like that or doing this or something like that. As a kid, I didn't care. I just kind of did what I did, did my own thing. I can remember when I was in junior high, I was completely into hip hop. And this is a small town, really nobody else was. So I had the high top fade and like all the MC Hammer baggy pants. Man, did I get reamed, because nobody else dressed like that. But I didn't, I didn't change my style for anybody. As far as my brothers go, I'm very close to all of them. Me, Dan, Matt, and Boog, man, we're like a clique. We were pretty rowdy. We'd always be in trouble together. We were always outside of, up to no good.
4 brothers, no sisters, no one around. Have a good time.
We were pretty much hellions. We was running around all the time, being loud and obnoxious.
Testosterone-laden household.
They were brats. Oh, but they're good kids now.
We didn't respect this house at all. We busted everything, we broke everything right on the walls.
We were running squares and gasoline and lighting them on fire and watching them burn.
Chase each other with chainsaws, make giant fires.
We used to wreck things.
He'd light fireworks off in the backyard. And who did that? I don't know who did that. I had nothing to do with that. And all the time it was John.
Sometimes we did get a little out of hand.
We were just like a pack of hound dogs. We didn't care. We'd come in with muddy feet and track over the floor. We'd just get crayons and run on the walls. And we got a bottle of spray paint. The walls were whatever color the paint was. I think as a kid, I just thought I was above the law, and now I realize that I'm not above the law, but there is room in the law for horseplay, and I'm definitely one to play within the law. We didn't get caught for a lot of the stuff that we did.
They were very crafty. They got away with a lot of stuff.
You can't keep track of 5 at once. You know, they were just we beat them with the numbers game.
Summer afternoons were spent in the backyard. He'd get on the phone in the morning and line up all the wiffle ball teams, and he'd let me know that it was a grilled cheese day and everybody was coming over, and that's how the day would progress. So, you know, if you got the call from John Cena, you showed up in the yard. You knew it would be a good time.
He was always getting us together, trying to run the group up and stuff. That was his gig.
I just wanted to always be doing something. You know, I didn't want to be bored sitting around the house playing video games. I always threw fits when a plan didn't come together.
If we knew we were going to have a flag football game, he'd actually draw up little playbooks, depending on how many people he thought would come down. And
we'd go so far as I'd have like paper stat sheets, and we'd keep stats in every game, like rushing yards, sacks, QB hurries, stuff like that.
Whatever we could come up with to keep us busy at the time with the neighborhood kids.
We played baseball out back, we played football out front, we played basketball.
We had a football field out in back.
Because we were active and kids and going 100 miles an hour, we'd always want to do something like that. We always used to play guns. I'd spend all my birthday money on fake guns. Saturday mornings, we'd get all camoed up and we'd go out and play guns till the sun went down. I was definitely the organizer of most of the activities. I guess I always wanted to do something. If it was manual labor, you would find me on coffee break.
When we were out picking up sticks in the backyard, and John was playing Little League at that stage of his life, and all of my boys are out there, and we're working, and we're picking these sticks up to clean the yard, and they said, "Hey, you, get over here." This little kid comes running over to me now. He's about 8 or 9 years old, and I said, "Come on, pick those sticks up." He walked right over to me, and he looked at me, and he said, "You know I play baseball." And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Do you see these?" And I said, "Yeah." "I can't take a chance on damaging this." He said, "This is money." And this is an 8 or 9-year-old kid.
You know, his dad was always interested in wrestling, so at a young age, they all would sit down and watch all these events.
John and I would sit with my father on Saturdays and watch professional wrestling. And I think that's the first time he was really exposed to it. And then after that, it was like, gone.
I was watching MTV, and they played the highlights on MTV. So here I am rocking out, and in comes a clip of Hogan beating Sheik for the title. And it was the best. I was a Hulkamaniac from that day on. We used to fight. And then when we saw wrestling, we went from the bed upstairs to the basement downstairs, and we started our own wrestling fed.
He'd plan things out, what was going to happen.
The matches were held in various locations.
He used to set up matches downstairs. If the weather was good, we'd end up wrestling outside.
Many a time I'd hear the yell downstairs, "World's champion," and he'd walk around with these little paper belts.
He actually made a wrestling belt out of cardboard.
I made so many. We had like East Texas champion, European champion, Northern European champion, world champion, champion of the universe, champion of everything. Everybody had belts, but when it came to like champion of the universe, that's me. After my sophomore year in high school, I had applied to and was accepted to boarding school at Cushing Academy. And at 15, I shipped out of home to go live at this school. It was the best decision I've ever made in my life. I was extremely conscious about what people thought of me freshman and sophomore year. And when I got to prep school, that's when I learned to be a jackass.
I first met John in the weight room at Cushing Academy. We have a similar sense of humor, pretty much a love for the ridiculous and anything exaggerated to an extreme.
My style of humor is extremely random. Like, I'll go off on tangents.
We took very little seriously. He would always make weekly announcements. He would just say the strangest things. You know, he would talk about a football game coming up, getting everyone psyched. Oh, and by the way, I saw him
a werewolf drinking a pina colada at Trader Vic's. His hair was perfect. And I'd sit back down and everybody'd look around and be like, all right.
There's nothing he won't do.
Me and a buddy of mine used to run around with jock straps, not where they're supposed to be, over our face. And I'd have wrestling boots on, and he'd have some sort of funky shoes on. That was it. And we'd walk around the dorms.
Naked is funny.
It's pretty late in the evening. You guys have been here all day. You told me not to look at the camera, but at this point, it really doesn't matter, because I'm in a phony afro and a banana hammock with gold shoes on. Let's ruin the integrity of this room. Come here. Let's pick out a favorite picture. This is family time. Come on.
Not like that.
Come on, come on.
Nope.
It's me. You saw me naked the day I was born. Come on.
It isn't the same.
In all seriousness,
Right there.
I really honestly don't know my thing with nudity. It got to be like a joke. Like I could use it to ease the situation up. There'll be some tension and I'll just get naked. And people will be like, all right, it's not that bad. I had pretty much my pick of colleges. I loved playing football. And this sounds so stupid, but when I graduated high school, I wanted to go to college to play college football, not to learn. It got to the point where it came time to make my decision, and I started touring schools. I went to Springfield College, and the offensive lineman coach was awesome. And he said, man, a year or two, you can be playing here. You can be playing as an offensive lineman. From then, I was sold. I started as a sophomore. I played every game thereafter. I actually played football for 8 years total, and I never missed a practice. That was my thing. I always show up to work.
Still to come.
Vince McMahon himself cut me 20 grand right there. You can have that 3 and here, take $100 for yourself. Go get yourself 4 cheap suits, 3 pairs of Coke bottle glasses, 2 cases of Sprite and a partridge and a pear tree.
And now, the WWE Rewind is brought to you by the new Castrol GTX High Mileage.
Jericho's got a leg hook. My God, it can't be happening. My God almighty, Jericho has done it. Nobody thought he had a chance. Y2J is the first undisputed champion.
You know, I went to Ozfest this past summer and was shocked to find out that Fozzy was not on the card. Apparently, there's some professional jealousy going on between Chris Jericho and Ozzy Osbourne. I think you know who the jealous party is. Of course, Fozzy's lead singer, Chris Jericho, never leaves anything to chance, in the ring or out. The self-proclaimed king of the world is using his mic skills to conquer a new realm, heavy metal music. Using a combination of hard work and talent, Jericho and Fozzy moving up the charts will not just be happenstance.
We're a rock and roll extravaganza. We're a rock and roll gala. We're a rock and roll regatta. We love playing with Fozzy. We love playing in this band. We have a great time playing. We have a great time hanging with the fans and seeing their reactions. And it's kind of something that's almost missing from rock and roll nowadays, is that fun element. I came up with the Moongoose McQueen persona about 3 years ago when we started Fozzy. Moongoose is the epitome of what they call in the music business of LSD, which stands for lead singer's disease. The most arrogant, egotistical, prima donna jerk that you could find, but also, you know, a very legendary, influential frontman who everything has gone straight to his head. That's how it all started out.
I met Chris backstage at a WCW event. We met because my band Stuck Mojo had done a music video with Diamond Dallas Page. He had told me that, man, I used to play in bands in high school. That was my dream. I wanted to be a rock star. That was my thing. And I said, well, I've got this jam band. I said, we get together and we play these 80s metal covers, and it's for fun. I said, you want to come in and sit in as the lead singer of the band? So we played our first show together, and the turnout was incredible because people wanted to see Chris Jericho sing. And I think half the audience was just there to see him fail. And when they saw him go out there and a la David Lee Roth, old Van Halen style, ran the show as the master of ceremonies, it was excellent. And the crowd went nuts, and from there it just started to snowball. The more shows we did, the more people turned out, and then management and record companies were interested in the band. It was just ironic, and we had a big laugh of it. It's like, here we are, we're not even playing our own music. We're just totally for fun, and it just turned into something a lot bigger.
We did our first rehearsals. I found a pig mask in the rehearsal studio. I said, man, we should have a mascot.
And Chris said, I love these pig masks. It's like, our mascot is a pig. He's half man, half pig. No, he's not. He has swinus. He's a man who has swinus.
For the first record, we had a documentary that was on MTV, like a half-an-hour thing, and Arthur was prominently featured. Arthur is the pig man.
They saw past my swinus and they saw the real Arthur.
He has this rare condition called swinus, as you can plainly see. It's a rare condition. Only 1 out of every about 5.5 billion people on Earth have it.
3 years later, Arthur has the easiest job in rock and roll. The new CD is called Happenstance. It's our second CD. The first CD was simply titled Fozzy, self-titled record. Fozzy was a good record. Happenstance is leaps and bounds above it. I really love the material on there. The original tracks I think are awesome.
I wrote 4 songs for the new album, lyrics, melodies, music. I presented them to Chris and said, "Is this where you want to be?" I was really surprised in how well we worked together and kind of making these songs shape and form into Fozzy songs.
I'm a shameless promoter of my band. I'll do anything that it takes to get the band airplay. I've done probably about 100 interviews for Happenstance, called radio stations all over the world, music magazines all over the world, and I'll continue to do so because I believe in the band, not just because I'm Chris Jericho, the wrestler, because it's a great band. Vince asked me when Fozzy was playing on Raw. I was like, man, whenever you want, please, you tell me. So, and the WWE has been awesome as far as promoting the band and boosting the recognition factor of the band. This is going to be our biggest show to date.
We're really excited about being here playing Raw. You know, it's the first time that Fozzy's ever played an arena crowd, so that's, you know, it's really cool.
Lights, camera, action, big screen, our faces on the big screen, you know, I don't know how many thousands of people. It's going to be great. We're looking forward to it.
A lot of the boys in the dressing room love Fozzy, and they might not even like the music per se, but they like the concept of it. And a lot of the guys, I think, appreciate what I've done with it, the tenacity to put together my own band and take it as far as I have. I think they respect that, respect the drive.
I'm your biggest fan, man. I'm your biggest fan. How you doing? Hey guys, how you doing?
So we'll probably be coming hanging out with you by the table tonight and stuff, if that's all right.
It's just going to be loud.
Hey man, what's your name? I'm Chris Jericho. I wrestled you, beat you for the WWE title.
I thought it was Mongoose McQueen or something like that.
Mushroom Jones.
Mushroom Jones.
This is Fozzy right here.
Hey, how are you?
How you
Rich.
guys doing, man?
Nice
Good to meet you.
We were wondering, if in case I have any kind of laryngitis, can you fill in and sing for Fozzy tonight?
Yeah, you bet your ass I can. Yeah, you guys know it. Johnny Be Good, you guys know that?
We do know that.
Down to Louisiana. Yeah, okay.
Actually, Rock plays guitar too. He's a burgeoning blues player.
Right, congratulations, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Awesome, man. You guys keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Have fun tonight, too, man.
Being Chris Jericho, the sports entertaining superstar, has helped Fozzy a lot. I mean, we've got a chance to play, you know, on Raw, getting some great coverage from the WWE for Happenstance and for the first record, Fozzy, as well. It helps break down a lot of doors. But on the other side of the coin, it's also been a hindrance in a lot of ways, because people think, oh, Fozzy's out with the wrestler singing? Oh, he's a wrestler, he can't possibly sing. Chris Jericho, rock star, is it that far-fetched? I don't think so, especially when people check out the band, check out Happenstance, check out the CDs, and see that when you hear the music, it rocks.
Performing To Kill a Stranger from their new album, Happenstance. Please welcome Fozzy!
It was a great experience for me and for the band. And not to mention the fact that that's our audience.
I think it's very important on a stage like this, on a forum like this, to play one of our tracks, one of our original tracks. I thought the presentation was great, the way they shot it, the video wall, the pyro. It was a very cool moment for the band.
It was great. I loved it. I thought it couldn't have been better.
I would put our band up against any other band in the world in a live setting. The future is as far as we can take it, and I want to take it all the way.
When we return, it's a SummerSlam celebration for the Lesnar family.
When I won, the first thing that went through my mind was I had to take it all in.
Brock Lesnar may be the next big thing, but to Richard and Stephanie Lesnar, he will always be their little boy. Naturally, when Brock had the chance to become the youngest champion in WWE history at SummerSlam, Mom and Dad just had to be there. So they packed up their bags, left their home in rural Minnesota, and hopped a plane for their first trip ever to the Big Apple.
My emotions going into that day and that night into that match was I knew that this was going to be a big career change for me and a big step in my career.
Is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Introducing the challenger, the next big thing, Brock Lesnar.
How it came to be for my parents to be at SummerSlam, my parents are my #1 fans. They've always traveled with me. They used to take me to little kids wrestling tournaments every Saturday. They followed me throughout my whole career. I wanted them to be a part of this also, and instead of watching me on television, to be at the actual live event.
Is the WWE Undisputed Champion, The Rock.
I was right in the match. Well, every time he did something great, I was right there with him.
All the crowd was into it. Man, my stomach just got, just kind of got nervous and tight, and my mouth got dry. It was exciting, and they went right at it.
I think we connected eyes. Our eyes connected a couple times. He told us last night he wasn't going to win.
Why did I tell my parents I was going to lose? Because they had anticipated that I was going to win, actually.
I said, you got to win.
I just wanted that anticipation and surprise for them.
The Rock is in a bad way right now. There's that big, thick bear hug. And we saw what this bear hug did to the legendary Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
I first noticed when the crowd got behind me was when I got Brock in the bear hug, the Brock lock.
It seemed like they kind of switched over to Brock instead of the Rock.
I felt that the fans really anticipated that Brock Lesnar was going to win this match.
F5 and F5 to the Rock. The cover. 1, 2, 3. Brock Lesnar has defeated the Rock. Brock Lesnar has become the youngest champion in WWE history.
When I won, the first thing that went through my mind was I had to take it all in. This is the #1 goal for every professional wrestler, is to have the WWE Championship. And I have it, and I've achieved it in a short amount of time. It really hasn't even sunk in yet. When I saw my parents backstage, for them to come up and congratulate me, and my mom was shaking and smiling, and then it brought back memories from when I won my NCAA title and my junior college title and my one and only state title. I wanted them to be a part of it, and that's why I brought them to SummerSlam.
I'm really excited and proud, and I wish the best for him.
For Rock to actually pass the torch to me, it was no different than Andre the Giant passing the torch to Hulk Hogan. He made me at SummerSlam. That match made Brock Lesnar.
The next big thing has arrived.
When we return, the prototype gets an upgrade.
Come on, somebody back there wanna face Kurt Angle.
This is John Cena, one of the many young talents who could be looking to knock on the door of opportunity.
Living with his father and 3 brothers is more like being in a frat house than a home. But for John Cena, It's a lifestyle he's become accustomed to. Weight training, sports, and wrestling were all he and his brothers lived for. Growing up surrounded by pure testosterone, it would seem inevitable that John Cena would become a prototype of a WWE superstar.
I graduated, I had $300 in my pocket. Without a second thought, I moved out to California. I'd actually had some success in natural bodybuilding. If you're a bodybuilder, that's the Mecca. That's where everybody goes. Initially, I started lifting because kids were picking on me. Bad thing is I didn't see results until I was about 17 or 18 when nobody picked on me anymore. And I love training to this day. My dad bought me my first weight set when I was 12, and to this day, I have not missed a day since. This is Hard Knocks Gym, pretty much where I grew up as a kid. This is where I spent my teenage years. I walked in here a skinny 15-year-old, through a bunch of hard work. I pretty much transformed my body into what it is today. I come here to work hard. And you can either quit and go out the door or stay here and work hard and get big. This is the man. He is the owner, proprietor of Hard Knocks, been here since 1960. He's made me what I am today, definitely.
He's a hard worker, and we made him work harder in here. We did some real freaky workouts that would really boggle the mind of the average trainee. He's had his head over the rail out there a number of times, letting it all go, and still capable of doing the same thing to him anytime he comes back here. And if I hear of anything where he's getting too big for his shoes, then
the beatings will continue.
The beatings will continue, that's for sure.
I started lifting, and then I had some success with it, and I actually have good genetics for bodybuilding. So I did a bodybuilding show on a whim, and that went good, so I did another one. And that went real good, and then I started winning, and it started going really good. So it's something I did in the off-season.
Anything he does, he puts full effort into it. And if he doesn't put full effort into it, he doesn't attempt it at all. He just excels at everything he tries.
I worked setting up fitness equipment. I hated that job, it was awful. A buddy of mine, who was on one of the road crews, was like, we started talking one day, and he threw a wrestling reference out, and then on chance, and I threw one right back at him. We started going back and forth. He's like, dude, I'm a wrestler. You gotta come down to this wrestling school and train with me. So after he twisted my arm for a while, I actually went down to UPW, where I made my start. And as soon as I saw the ring, as soon as I saw a ring that I could get in, it was the first real ring that I'd seen up close, and I was able to get in. I knew that I was gonna do it. So right there, I paid my fees and started training.
He'd wake up early in the morning, moving fitness equipment during the middle of the day. Right after that was over, he'd go to the gym, go to wrestling practice, and then he'd end up bouncing at a bar at night just to kind of keep everything going.
I was home one night and I get a phone call. Hi, old man, how you doing? I said, good. What's up, kid? Just want you to know, I get a job. Yep, okay, what is it? Well, Dad, I'm a professional wrestler. I said, not on your best day. Dad, I'm a professional wrestler. And I didn't believe my son.
It was a surprise, and I'm not probably the biggest fan of all this, but I'm trying to quickly learn.
I think he made his mark in UPW with a stage name Prototype and just the way that he carried that character out.
But the Prototype in UPW was a robot. My quote was 50% man, 50% machine, 100% mayhem. And they had me doing the old school, like coming out doing the robot gimmick. I'd get hit and I'd pop back up and not show any emotion and just be this jacked up guy with a blonde mohawk that was 1983 through and through, and it was horrible. I stayed at the UPW, got involved there. That was a hotbed for WWF for a while. And I remember a few times Bruce Pritchard came down, and then one time he came down with a contract, and it was for me. And I got signed, and the day I got signed, quit my job, totally focused on wrestling full time. I knew that when I got signed, it was pretty much like getting a college scholarship. They were entrusting me that I was going to give them a product, and I wanted to make sure that I gave my full effort.
I think he's driven by, maybe even subconsciously, the joy of entertaining people. I think that no matter if he's wrestling or we're making stupid videos, it's the fact that if he's making one person laugh, then I think he thinks, okay, I've done my job. That's what I'm out to do.
I just love being out there. when the chips are down, I'll be the guy working his ass off. But when you give me time to be me, I don't take life seriously at all. My philosophy is it'll all work itself out. I don't get bent out of shape over much. I really don't get mad over much stuff. I'm a free spirit. I'm always in a good mood. This is a place that I thought I'd never get, because when I was a kid, I wanted to be a rock star or a wrestler. In the back of your mind, you know you're never gonna get there. I'm here. I relish every second, and I don't want to let the company down. I'm willing to give up anything to do this. I love this business. I'd do anything for it, and I want to be remembered as giving my all to it.
It has often been said that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. In recent weeks, we've seen everyone from kids to Kane attempt to imitate Booker T's Spin-a-Rooney with less than flattering results. But finally, we're proud to present to you, right here tonight on this very show, a tribute worthy of the 5-time WCW champion. Without further ado, here's Booker T's favorite NFL superstar, Philadelphia Eagles All-Pro linebacker LaVon Kirkland in Prelude to the Spin-a-Rooney.
I followed him when him and his brother was known as the Ebony Connection. I used to check them out then, and I really became big fans when they became the Harlem Heat. Really liked Booker T, and when he came to WWE, when he came on, man, I was thrilled. So just always been a big fan of his. Just like the way he moves in the ring, like the way he talks. Let me get you, sucker. Can you dig it, sucker? I just copy his move, man. I did.
The next move he'll probably come up with is the Spin-a-Rooney. And then he'll probably want to put some mustard on it and put a twist on it and say he came up with something else new.
Well, I doubt it'd be a Spin-a-Rooney because I'm really not that flexible, and I really can't do that one, to be honest with you.
When we return, Trish and Bubba make an offer you shouldn't refuse.
I'm a new member of Don Tony's family, new hitman, so to speak.
If they were playing in the U.S. Open tennis tournament, they'd be called mixed doubles. But here in the WWE, they're an intergender tag team. Trish Stratus and Bubba Ray Dudley are somewhat of an odd couple, to say the least. But there's no arguing with success. This past Monday, Trish and Bubba were victorious once again in the first ever WWE intergender tag team table match. Now the groundbreaking duo is at it again. But this time, they're teaming up outside the ring.
We're at the Strip House today, an amazing steakhouse in Lower Manhattan, shooting the latest installment of the Stacker 2 spots with Tony Sirico. Mark. In the first commercial, Bubba Ray Dudley's kind of acting as Tony Sirico's bodyguard and introducing the new Stacker 2 ephedra-free product.
I'm a new member of Don Tony's family. The new hitman, so to speak.
In the second commercial, Trish Stratus is kind of like Tony Sirico's girlfriend, and she's introducing the new product Stacker 2 Light.
Stacker 2 Light, same great Stacker 2 in a lighter formula. Tony and I have worked together many times. Tony's great. He's a lot of fun to work with.
Don't make me laugh, it hurts.
He's crazy.
The location for today's shoot, the Strip House, incredible history. It actually started out as a bordello way back in the 1800s. It was bought out as a restaurant, changed hands a few times, and then the current owners bought it a few years ago, totally decked it out in red velour, pictures of old burlesque stars and actors and opera singers from bygone days, and I really think they did a great job. Cut, bring in Bubba, please.
I've been in steakhouses and restaurants before where they do have pictures on the wall of the people that have come in, but it looks like that these pictures go as far back as Jesus Christ and Mae Young.
One of the great things about working with Tony Sirico is this guy is an actor's actor. You ask him to do something once, and he nails it.
Vincenzo, I've decided it's time for a change. The family is ready to take on a new member.
He's also a lot like his character that you see on television.
Welcome to the family.
having Tony Sirico play the role that he's playing as Don Tony in this commercial, I think adds a very nice realism to the commercial. And I think when the finished product is done, everybody and their mother will be taking Stacker 2.
Welcome to the family.
Forget about it. In case you forgot about it, earlier this week, Raw GM Eric Bischoff revived a piece of wrestling history when he presented Triple H with the World Heavyweight Championship. That World Championship belt has been held by some of the greatest champions in the history of this industry, from Flair to Sting to Hogan and Goldberg. Next week, we're going to take a look back and a look forward at the World Heavyweight Championship. That's all for now. See you next week. And remember, if you see and hear it here, it's confidential.